Well, Ann Coulter usually with us on Wednesdays, but I'll be off this Wednesday, so we're going to have her on today. And, of course, she's the best-selling author. You get her book, Resistance is Futile, her latest book, her big bestseller, I think her best book. And, of course, make sure you follow Ann Coulter on Twitter and all that stuff, and go to anncoulter.com. Ann Coulter, how you doing?
Are you busy this Wednesday working on the Michael Bloomberg campaign?
No. It's not Michael Bloomberg anymore. Whenever he runs, it's suddenly Mike Bloomberg. And look at I have it up on Twitter. Look at his campaign ad. He's wearing this Bob Vila working man outfit with khakis and a work shirt. It's Mike Bloomberg now.
Well, this confirms what I suspected. There are some campaign consultants out there still worried they don't have enough to send their kids to college, and they've convinced Michael Bloomberg they can totally make him the president. Write us a check, and we'll get to work. I thought this was a problem that beset only the Republican Party, but apparently the Democrats have it too. The funny thing is, if he could win the Democratic nomination, I think he could beat Trump.
What?
At least there's a good shot. Let me put it that way. Unlike the current crop running. But let's just take that as the hypothetical. There's no way he can ever win the Democratic nomination. Their voters are crazy.
Wait, but what is the issue he beats Trump on? He keeps talking about jobs. Well, that's not an issue. He keeps talking about building America. The guy's already a builder in the White House. The only issue is his crazy tweeting, but Bloomberg has a history of crazy comments in his past.
Well, as you know, the tweeting is one of the things I love about Donald Trump.
Exactly, and a lot of people...
He's an excellent talker. It comes down to the doing, and the fact that we technically have a builder in the White House hasn't really worked to our advantage. I think a lot of people are annoyed with Trump. Like me, for not keeping his promises. Percentage of them. Now, would I vote for somebody else? Well, no, I guess he's the only one saying the right thing. If somebody would come along and say the right thing and talk like Trump, I think I'd probably have a better shot of getting those things, but no one's even going to say the right things. In any event, there's some percentage disappointed there. We don't have the wall. We still have illegal immigrants are pouring in at a high rate. And then you have a lot of Republicans who voted for Trump. Not a lot. And I think, again, against the current Democrats running, I think Trump has a very good chance. But, sort of the weak-kneed Republicans who thought that, thought Bush was outrageous. The constant hysteria from the media can wear those people down. And I think you might have a little bit of the same phenomenon that helped get Trump elected. We had spent 40 years hating Hillary Clinton. So I think a lot of voters just said, don't even tell me about the other guy. I'm voting for anyone who isn't Hillary. And I think there are probably some who are thinking with Trump. And, of course, he hasn't deported illegals, and they've continued to have babies and turn 18 and register to vote.
Problem with Bloomberg, though, when you got to be able to run against Trump, you got to be able to put him down. And when Bloomberg tries it, it sounds preposterous. Like when he talks about Trump's business, he says, that's just a little family business. When you're a $10 billion company, you call that a little family business. You sound like an out-of-touch elitist.
Yeah, I mean, that's a line that works well with people who already hate Trump. Yeah. Because it's designed for no other purpose. I mean, that's hilarious that he's wearing the regular clothes. Yeah. He's suddenly become Mike, but then he's going to insult someone for having a little family business. Kind of some counter messaging there. I mean, I think the biggest problem is I'm sure your listeners know this. He's a disaster on two of the most important issues for voters, guns and immigration. At the moment, he's only going to tie with Trump on immigration since, again, Trump isn't doing anything. But guns, he's also, I don't know, New Yorkers think a lot of people seem more popular than they would be out in America.
Yeah. So, and the other problem, you're right. He'll never get the Democratic nomination because they're going to say to themselves, "Wait a minute, why would we nominate a Republican mayor?"
Yeah, and a white man.
Yeah. So
no, white man out of the running. Sorry, and that is actually good for Republicans going forward. That the Democrats and the left have activated this really crazy and ugly identity politics movement in the country. But it's not enough. It's not enough to win. I hope, I pray, national elections yet. This business about the Rainbow Coalition. I mean, that's how it started long ago. LGBTQYZ, the transgender stuff. You have the Muslims. Everybody's in it for himself with his specific identity. And children in cages. When all of them raise their hands over whether illegal aliens should be given free health care. Okay, that's going to be great with the base that the Democrats themselves created. Don't see that being a hit yet nationally. Might be after another 4 years of Trump not building the wall. Incidentally, you didn't ask me how my Berkeley speech went.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you went out to speak at Berkeley. Now, normally...
crazy people.
Colleges hate diversity. They try to shut down any diversity. Did anybody give you a hard time out there?
You obviously have not been reading the news. No, it was like one of the worst. 2,000 Antifa protesters, as you probably know, the girl chief of police of Berkeley is on the side of the protesters. So they deploy a lot of police to put on a good show with like helicopter units and SWAT teams. Hey, could you just arrest people who are beating up the ones trying to come to the speech? Could you just do that? So, but despite all that, yes, I spoke. It was magnificent. We had a great time. The one person I was worried about was producer of a talk radio show out in San Francisco, the Brian Sussman show. Great show. She was coming and bringing her high school kids and looking at this insanity from the mental patients with the cops. And it's like the FBI thing. Love the individual cops, but the chief could use a few lessons on riot control. And no, when I said I was annoyed that they hadn't gotten in, she shouted out from the audience and said, "Nope, we made it. We're here." So a good time was had by all. And ha ha ha! Even with Berkeley administrators on your side, 2,000 mentally ill lunatics could not stop my speech. So I am triumphant.
Well, that's good. It's very important to put some diversity into this college stuff. Remember when the president of Iran, Ahmadinejad, came to speak at Columbia? No protest there. They were fighting with him.
I know. This is the Democratic Party the left has created. They thought, it'll be fun. We'll have energy. We'll get them, smashing Starbucks windows and setting places on fire. But they're learning. You can't control that energy. Once you've created these lunatics, they're off on their own. You can't rein it back when it goes after your own side. This is the same thing the British in the American Revolution found out by allying with the Indians. Indians would come to town, scalp a few people, and then, okay, I'm going home. That was fun.
And obviously, they have these left-wing speakers every second at college campuses. Has there ever been a protest? I don't think so.
Yes, they're known as professors, Mark.
So, what do you think is going to happen? They're not talking about going after Rudy Giuliani to see if he profited from the Ukraine oil deal. How can you do that and let Hunter Biden go?
No, I think I had this whole scandal figured out as soon as we saw the transcript. And I'm sorry, Republicans and Democrats. I just don't care. I think I could go on 2 years now without writing a single column about Donald Trump. Democrats aren't doing anything. Republicans aren't doing anything. It's all theater to keep people watching cable news and, learning who Maria Yona's name is. Who cares? The president is the president. He sets foreign policy, not the interagency. And, I guess it's not entirely Republicans' fault, but they do seem to be, Charlie Brown with the football, going through months of saying there was no quid pro quo. Of course, if there had been, that would be a serious offense. You will notice one of us never said there was any problem with a quid pro quo. That's what foreign policy is. I don't want to give out any foreign policy money, not one red cent. It doesn't do any good. Countries hate us anyway. But the argument for giving out foreign aid to countries is, well, we use this as an inducement to get them to do stuff like tackle corruption.
Yeah.
That's what foreign policy is. What Biden and Hunter did was corrupt, and I'd like to get to the bottom of it, too.
Well said. Everybody should go to AnnCoulter.com. Follow Ann Coulter on Twitter. If you're one of the few people who has not read the book, Resistance is Futile, go get the book. Just go to Amazon or AnnCoulter.com. And new column comes out Wednesday?
Yes, I think early since it's Thanksgiving.
Okay, so that's good news. Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us.
Good to talk to you, Mark Simone. Bye-bye.
All right, take care.